what's ripening YouTube. So I'm having way too much fun out here pruning these mango trees. This is definitely one of the most rewarding times of the year. I get to see the fruits, literally the fruits of my labor. So I'm going to share it with you some more. I did a video recently pruning, but let's do it again. If you guys are into it, join me. Like down below, comment, and I'm just going to give you another stream of consciousness while I prune, and let's see what happens. So this is my lemon zest tree all pruned up. We've got some beautiful pineapples growing up underneath them. As you can see, I've exposed all the fruit. They're all going to get more sun. Hopefully they're going to color up better. They'll have better airflow. We won't have any fungal problems. As I was saying before, I don't spray my trees because I'm evaluating them for their disease resistance. And so if I spray them, I won't know what I know now. So that's part of the intention of this grove. All right, so the next tree, I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy out of here. Coconut frond, palm frond in the way. All right, the next one is Phoenix. And this one's got some pretty scabby looking stuff on it. And that's okay. One thing I've noticed too with mangoes is that you cannot judge a book by its cover. And what do I mean by that? I mean that some of the best tasting mangoes I've ever had were not that pretty. So I know a lot of us are used to seeing pretty mangoes in the grocery store that are red, orange, yellow, green, every color of the rainbow, and they look really nice. And then we bring them home and they don't really live up to what they look like. They just they fall flat in the flavor department or the texture department or the fiber department. A lot of you guys will know what I'm talking about. But sometimes a mango that doesn't have much color, or maybe it's got some blemishes on it, will absolutely rock your world with flavor. So these, while they may not be the prettiest, this one I can see is not gonna develop, so take that off. Ooh, I can smell the sap. Smell that. All right, so here's a long branch coming from way back, and it's an under branch. I'm gonna take that out. Not holding any fruit, just cluttering things up. So that sap that I was talking about, when I cut these, I can smell it. It's I'm not sure exactly what the compounds are. I know there's like some terpenes and there's this other stuff in there. I think it's called urushiol oil or something, or rush oil. It's basically like poison ivy. It's in the same kind of family of plants, I believe, and it will burn your skin. Depending on how sensitive you are, it may really be a problem for you. I know some people that can't even really eat mango because even the slightest bit of sap on the skin, or you know, if the fruit's not completely ripe, it'll irritate them. I know for me, I lived in the Bahamas for a while. I was doing survey work, and there's a tree in the Bahamas. It's probably in other parts of the Caribbean and different places we called it the poisonwood tree, and it's related to mangoes too. And I was out surveying, and I got into the poisonwood tree without knowing it. I didn't know at the time what it looked like, and I didn't know about it anyway. So even if I had known what it looked like, I wouldn't have. I'm gonna take this. I wouldn't have known anything. So anyway, I got home, went to take my shower, and I must have had some of the sap from that tree on my hand, because when I went to start scrubbing myself, I wiped that sap all over my body, and it was excruciating. You know, mangoes will do a similar deal, but this was pretty full on. It was, my skin kind of erupted and it was like weeping. You know, it's probably not the most appealing thing to talk about, but what happened after that though, it took weeks for it to heal. But what happens is that it made me hypersensitive to mangoes. So I actually went through a couple of, I think it was a couple of years where mango sap was really irritating to me. And thankfully that's gone away now, but that was a problem. So anyway, if I can remember to, nowadays I like to wear sleeves like these. These are the Under Armour sleeves, or you could wear a long sleeve shirt. Also, when I'm harvesting, right now I'm not really harvesting, I'm just pruning, but when I'm harvesting I will I'll wear sunglasses, because some of these will squirt the sap out of the stem, and that stuff can really burn your eyes. That's a really somewhat dangerous thing about them. So in this branch, I've got small branches that are kind of coming up through my other fruiting branches. I'm just taking those out so that the fruit can hang cleanly. Here's a fruit that's split for whatever reason. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Not helping anybody. When they split open like that, they're just inviting, you know, pathogens to come in, and not something I want to proliferate through the whole grove or through the tree. All right, let's come through here. Let's see what we're working with. All right. So like I said before, I'm cutting these little panicles off so they don't scratch the fruit. And then I'm just kind of cutting back so that the fruit's free to hang. And this is all stuff that you can do if you manage your trees to a certain size. Once they get out of your reach, this is pretty impractical, and you're probably not going to bother, and you know, that's fine too. I like to think of farming or gardening or food forestry or whatever you want to call it. It's like a choose your own adventure novel. I don't know if any of you guys would remember that. When I was a kid, I really liked the choose your own adventure books, because you could read a chapter, you could make a decision and skip to page whatever, or you could go to a different page if you wanted to do the other decision, or you could go back, like if you made the wrong decision and like the character in the book died or got lost or whatever, you could go back and stuff. This is kind of like a choose your own adventure too, because you know, the cuts that I make now are gonna dictate how this grove or this tree performs in the future, and I get to take some responsibility for that, and that's kind of cool. I think that's something we all should be doing, is taking responsibility for things and stewarding land and teaching each other. That's kind of what we're here for, is to learn and grow. At least that's what I'm here for. Let's see. All right, so I've got fruit kind of hanging over other fruit. I'm just gonna kind of gently investigating where things are coming from. And then in this case, I've got a branch that's just kind of hindering something else. Take that out so this fruit can hang free. There's another one in here and another one in there. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what this all becomes when these mature. I'm pretty sure this is a later season variety. They may come out pretty nasty from when it starts to rain heavily, and having already seen one split is a little concerning too, because it might have a lot more fruit splitting on this one. We'll see, but we won't know until we know. We can only speculate. All right, let's see. Take some of this. Sometimes when we take the weight out of the tree, or out of the branch, it'll pop up a little bit. There's one coming from way back in here. Let's see, another one doing nothing. There's one pointing down, don't need that. So I could have probably done some of this pruning earlier, but I had a friend of mine that he was selling the budwood, and he was kind of taking orders and then coming over and cutting them out, and you know, we had kind of a deal worked out there for a while. But now that everything is reflushed and whatnot, I need to do the pruning. So maybe the budwood will go back up on the market again. I don't know. I honestly don't have time to mess with it myself. Clean it up, yeah. There's a fruit from way up, and then that's not doing anything. That's not doing anything. Not doing anything. This is like opening your Christmas presents, finding all this fruit in here. Didn't even know it was in here until I started cutting. Let's see. Definitely learned to be a little bit more mindful doing this over the years, because it's really easy to drop fruit, especially when your trees are young. You get really sad when you lose that one fruit, or that, you know, you don't have that many, and you knock one off. It's like losing a child. Like, no. So I've learned to be a little bit gentle with how I do this. And seriously, this is kind of like, it's like therapy. You slow down, you listen to the trees, listen to the breeze, listen to the birds, listen to the bees, and it makes you slow down and appreciate what's going on. 'Cause it's not all bad out there, guys. There's a lot of good things going on in this world. Especially if you quit watching the news and go outside. It's all up to you. We see what we want to see, and we're all here for something else, something different. All right, so growth flush, growth flush, growth flush, and then branching. I'm going to take it back. Same here, take it back. This branch is hanging pretty low, but I think once the fruit comes off, it's going to raise up a little bit and hopefully get a little sturdier. If not, then I may have to prune it back a little bit further. So here's a flush, flush, flush. I missed a pruning opportunity a while back. I'm going to go ahead and correct my mistake. Here's another one. This one's hanging down though, so I'm going to take that out. Some small fruit on this side of the tree. So if you're looking in the tree and you see small fruit and big fruit, it's usually not that some of them are just runts, so although they could be, usually it means that you've got more than one crop. So they flowered at different times and they set fruit at different times. And sometimes different crops, you know, they'll obviously be staggered in time, but also depending on the resources the tree has available to it, they can vary in size as well, from one flush to another. And they can also vary in quality and flavor. One thing I noticed a few years back is that there are varieties. I think Duncan was the one that I'm thinking about, where when you have them, now I can't remember which way it was, early in the season, they're extremely far more superior than when you have them later in the season. Or it could be the other way around. It's been a while now, I can't really remember, but it's interesting to see how all these minute little details affect the quality of the fruit. The time of the year, how much rainfall there is. Sometimes the rain will wash out the flavors on some varieties, or it'll make the fruit split. And obviously when the fruit splits, that's not a good thing for the quality of the fruit, because usually it ruins it. So here's a branch heading downwards. Don't have time for that guy. Here's one sticking way out. Take it back a little bit. Another one, just nip it. Give it the old nip. All right, let's come back to up into the top of the tree. So here's 1 flush, 2 flush, 3 flush, going on 4. So let's take it back to right there. Same here. There's a flush, 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 flush. I'm gonna take it back to the second one. Why did I take it to the second one? Because it felt right. I would say that, you know, a lot of this farming and agroforestry and food growing, some of it's intellectual, but it's not all intellectual. Sometimes you gotta let yourself feel it. You don't have to have a logical reason and explanation for everything you do. It's okay to go with your gut every once in a while, or go with your heart, because you have more than one type of intelligence. You have more than one way of interpreting information. All right, let's come into the middle of the tree now. All right, so we've got branches coming into the middle. Just gonna go ahead and pop those out so I can see. Now I can see what I'm doing. All right, we got a flush, 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 flush. We're getting way up there. Take that back. A little bit of fruit in the top of the tree, not too much. Ooh, almost cut the branch off with the fruit on it. Done that before. All right, let's see, these guys can come out. One flush, 2 flush, 3 flush, 4 flush. Let's take it back to number 2. Took care of that. Take that one back. Alright, let's get out of this tree, see what we're working with. Alright, took the top down a little bit, cleaned it up. I can see the fruit much better. Let's go ahead and nip that guy real quick. The next thing I'll do after I finish pruning all these trees will be to come back and take care of this Napier grass and the Tithonia. This is all going to get cut and mulched in, and hopefully it'll stay down at least part of the way into the mango season, so I can monitor these fruit really easily. But they're here as part of my fertility system, and then they're also here You'll see I have them along the sides here. I'm trying to basically hold my edges so the grass doesn't come in. We'll see how it goes. Here's another tree, Malika. Some of y'all love it, some of y'all hate it. I'm on the love side of this one. Decent little crop. It doesn't seem like this tree ever holds very heavy, but it is a bomb mango. So good. This one's fairly upright, seems like. Not particularly dense canopy that I'm noticing. The one at my house was much slower growing. I'm not sure what was wrong with that tree, but I don't own that house anymore. So, so if any of you guys are following me and are wondering, I did sell my other house, the one that had the food forest that was in some videos and stuff. And someone from New York bought it. And they bought it. They decided to remove all the mulch, and they pruned out half of the canopy of all the mango trees, and they were holding fruit. They decided to cut the bottom half of the trees up. They wanted them in that lollipop tree looking form, and kind of ruined it. And then they put it right back on the market. So that was pretty annoying. But life goes on. I learned a lot from that property, and oh, look at that. There's a way late crop on the Malika. Be interesting to see if that comes in. I learned a lot on that property, and I have nothing but good memories about it. Somebody else wants to use it a different way. It's their property, right? They bought it. They can do what they want. Who am I to tell them otherwise? So yeah, they took all the they took all the bottom branches out, and they're trying to train those trees to be big and tall so that they become probably a nuisance for the next owner to try to be able to reach the fruit, because all the canopy is going to go up higher and higher, and they're going to have fruit falling, and then they're going to get annoyed with the tree, and you know, it's what it is. The other thing, I was using those trees to create privacy from the other neighbors. So that was part of the reason I was keeping the canopies low down at that house. But the way they've cut them, they're all wide open. And I don't know, maybe that's a New York thing, or it's just a different generation or whatever. For me, I like, when I'm home, I like to be able to close the world off a little bit and be left to my own devices and not have to interact with my neighbors unless I would like to. I'm just more of a private person that way. But I guess some people like it wide open, or maybe they're just looking for the postcard look that their friends or neighbors have, and they don't really have another reason other than just that's what people do with their yard. I don't really know. But this looks like multiple crops to me on this tree. I'm seeing some fruit that are relatively large, some that are pretty small. So I'm wondering if this flowered a few different times. Ooh, there goes one. Or some of these are holding in clusters, so that might have slowed them down. You know, they might just be holding smaller fruit because they weren't thinned early on. So that's something I did not do this year, was thin my fruit, and I probably won't do that in the future either. It's just another thing, and I don't, you know, I don't need to control the tree to every extent. This is about as far as I go. It's just a pruning. All right, let's see. Take that out. That little guy's not gonna make it. Okay. So this tree, I think something happened to this branch. Something happened where this tree got way out of balance. But I'm expecting it to find its own way into balance. We'll see how it goes. Hoping this branch will throw some growth over here pretty soon. And I may prune to encourage that later in the season. Let's see. Some nice looking fruit in here though. If you can get to it and see it. So if you're still watching this, congratulations, you've made it way longer than I thought anybody would. So either you left the thing on and you know, you've moved on, you're like doing the dishes or something, or maybe this is valuable to you. Let me know down below if you're watching this. Make a comment so I'll know you're out there. One thing about making videos like this is I don't know who I'm talking to. I don't know if they're listening. It's kind of a weird world. And then, you know, I'll meet people that do watch the videos and there's this imbalance because they, at least in their mind, they feel like they know me and I do not know them. And so there's this like catch up that we have to do. It's kind of funny that way. But yeah, if you made it this far, let me know. Oh, I just need the fruit right off the tree. Nice one. All right. Prune on that. Take out that guy. Oh no, another one fell. Let's have a moment of silence for that fallen fruit. All right, take out this guy. Oh, just cut another fruit down. I need to quit doing that. Got a couple of greens. Ooh, these smell good. I think I'm gonna take these inside and see how they are green. Alright, so this tree is still a little taller than I want, but there's a fair amount of fruit up there, so I can't really bring the canopy down like I want to yet. So I think I'm gonna leave it for now and come back. Yeah, I can reach this. Didn't even see this side of the tree. Yeah, there's mangoes up in there. So we'll move on to the next one. All right, guys, well, thanks for watching. If you did watch all the way to the end, don't forget to like and comment down below. You want to see more of this? Is this totally boring? Not boring to me, but you know, it's my trees. I like it. What do you guys think? I'll see you next time.